The opulent chandeliers of the Sterling Gallery cast a deceptive glitter over the hushed murmurs of the city's elite. Tonight was the unveiling of the Ephemeral Echoes collection, a series of hauntingly beautiful sculptures by the enigmatic artist known only as Ethelred. Amongst the polished smiles and clinking champagne flutes, three lives were about to collide, each on the precipice of a seismic shift. Kody Vance, a man whose ambition was as sharp as his tailored suits, moved through the crowd with an air of practiced ease. His eyes, however, held a tremor of something uncharacteristic: fear. For weeks, a confession had been burning a hole in his soul, a secret that threatened to dismantle the empire he'd meticulously built. He caught sight of Suki Sato, the gallery's brilliant and fiercely independent curator, her dark hair a stark contrast to her pristine white gown. Suki was the very embodiment of integrity in an industry rife with shadows, and that was precisely why Kody knew he had to tell her. He cornered her by a towering bronze piece, its abstract forms mirroring the chaos in his gut. "Suki," he began, his voice hoarse, "we need to talk, somewhere private." Suki, initially annoyed by the interruption, saw the genuine distress in his eyes. Kody Vance, flustered? This was unprecedented. She led him to a small, soundproofed office tucked away behind the main exhibition hall. The door clicked shut, sealing them in with the hum of the ventilation system and Kody's escalating anxiety. "It's about ephemeral echoes," Kody blurted out, skipping pleasantries. "Ethelred isn't real. Not in the way everyone thinks." He paused, taking a shaky breath. "I am Ethelred. Or rather, I created Ethelred. It was a fabricated identity to inflate market value, to generate mystique. I paid a team of unknown sculptors, bought their pieces cheap, then rebranded them under this fictitious genius. The critical acclaim, the bidding wars, it was all orchestrated. And the piece being unveiled tonight, The Fractured Truth, it's built from genuine antiques, i.e. legally acquired, not reclaimed industrial scrap as the catalog claims." Suki stared, her face paling. The words hit her like physical blows. Every glowing review she'd penned, every passionate defense of Ethelred's artistry, every record-breaking sale she'd overseen, it was all built on a lie. Her reputation, her very professional existence, was tied to this elaborate fraud. "Suki," she whispered, her voice barely audible, "do you understand what you're saying? This is career suicide for you, and for me it's professional ruin. Fraud, illegal acquisition, this is criminal." Kody nodded miserably. "I know, and I have proof. Ledgers, invoices, shell company records, it's all here." He pulled a sleek, encrypted USB drive from his pocket. "I can't live with it anymore, Suki. The guilt, it's eating me alive. I'm prepared to face the consequences, but I couldn't let you, of all people, be caught unaware when this inevitably explodes." The explosion wasn't long in coming. Suki, reeling from Kody's confession, spent a sleepless night grappling with the moral and professional dilemma. Her first instinct was to protect the gallery, to protect herself, to bury the truth. But her core integrity screamed louder. By dawn, she had made her decision. Armed with Kody's evidence and her own impeccable records, she approached the gallery's board, then a few trusted journalists, known for their ethical reporting. Suki was under fire. The media frenzy was immediate and brutal. Headlines screamed, "Gallery curator implicated in art fraud. Ethelred exposed. Is Suki Sato a part of the conspiracy?" Her face, once a symbol of discerning taste, was now plastered across tabloids, doctored to look conniving. Threats, both veiled and explicit, flooded her inbox. Disgruntled collectors, who had paid millions for Ethelred's work, demanded answers and retribution. The gallery board, initially supportive, buckled under pressure, suspending her and launching an internal investigation designed to distance themselves from the scandal. Suki found herself battling not just a professional crisis, but a public trial by media, her name dragged through the mud. Yet amidst the storm, a quiet resolve hardened within her. She would not just survive, she would fight for the truth and clear her name. She had Kody's confession, but she also had her own commitment to honesty. Meanwhile, across town, in a gilded cage that felt more like a prison, Christine Vance was packing. Christine, Kody's younger sister, had long lived in the shadow of his success, suffocated by the expectations of their wealthy, image-obsessed family. Her life had been meticulously curated by her formidable mother, a socialite who valued appearances above all else. She was expected to marry well, host lavish parties, and maintain a facade of effortless perfection. Her own dreams, to study astrophysics, to travel, to simply be herself, were systematically stifled. Her fiancé, Julian, a man chosen for her by her mother, was handsome, charming, and utterly devoid of genuine connection. Their upcoming wedding, just weeks away, felt like a life sentence. But the news of Kody's scandal, while devastating to their family's public image, was, for Christine, an unexpected catalyst. The shattering of Kody's perfect world, the public unraveling of a meticulously crafted lie, mirrored the lie she was living. If Kody, the golden boy, could expose himself and break free from his own deception, perhaps she could too. She looked at the engagement ring, a blinding diamond that felt like a handcuff. Her mother had just called, hysterical about the scandal, demanding Christine maintain a dignified front, perhaps even move the wedding forward to distract from the negative press. Marry him, Christine, and everything will be fine. We just need to write this out. But Christine was done writing it out. She walked over to her desk, pulled out her hidden savings, and booked a one-way flight to Santiago. She packed a single duffel bag with only essentials, a few changes of clothes, her passport, a well-worn copy of Carl Sagan's Cosmos, and the worn hiking boots she'd bought in secret. Her phone buzzed relentlessly with messages from her mother, from Julian, from frantic family friends. She ignored them all. As she stepped into the sleek black car she'd ordered, leaving behind the mansion that had been both home and gilded cage, a profound sense of lightness washed over her. She took a deep breath, the air tasting of freedom. Christine was breaking free. She sent a single defiant text to Julian. "I can't marry you. I'm choosing myself. Don't look for me." Then she switched off her phone. The scandal intensified. Kody, true to his word, cooperated fully. His confession was a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the art world. Suki, despite the immense pressure, stood firm. She provided evidence, clarified misconceptions, and calmly explained her unwitting role, always emphasizing her commitment to exposing the truth. Her fierce integrity, initially overshadowed by the accusations, slowly began to shine through. Journalists who had initially condemned her now listened, swayed by her unwavering honesty. Legal proceedings were underway, long and arduous, but Suki was no longer alone. A growing number of ethical voices in the art community, disgusted by the fraud, rallied behind her. Christine, meanwhile, was on a bus winding through the dusty hills outside Santiago. She had found a small, rustic guest house run by an elderly woman who spoke little English but exuded warmth. For the first time in her life, Christine woke up to the sound of roosters, not her mother's stern voice. She hiked mountain trails, her body aching but her spirit soaring. She learned basic Spanish, read her astrophysics books under star-dusted skies, and started sketching constellations. She was nobody's daughter, nobody's fiancé, nobody's expectation. She was just Christine, a tiny speck under a vast, wondrous universe, finally free to explore it. One evening, staring up at the Milky Way from a remote observatory she'd found, Christine saw an article on a public computer. It was an update on the Aethelred scandal. The focus had shifted. Kody Vance was facing serious charges but had struck a deal due to his full cooperation. And Suki Sato, though still facing professional backlash, was being hailed by many as a whistleblower, her reputation slowly being restored. The public narrative was turning from Suki implicated to Suki exposes. A pang of something akin to admiration and perhaps a touch of understanding went through Christine. Kody's confession, born of guilt, had become a catalyst for Suki's fight for integrity and in a strange, indirect way for Christine's own liberation. They were all linked, these three, in a dance of truth and freedom. Months later, Suki stood in a smaller, independent gallery far from the polished halls of the Sterling. She was curating a new exhibition, one that celebrated emerging, genuinely struggling artists. The crowds were smaller, the champagne cheaper, but the art pulsed with raw, honest energy. Her legal battles were winding down, her name largely cleared, though the scars of the ordeal remained. She was rebuilding, stronger and more resilient. One afternoon, she received an unexpected email. It was from Christine. The subject line was simply, "Thank you." The email detailed Christine's new life, her studies, her joy. "Your courage, Kody's confession, it was the jolt I needed to see someone, even family, dismantle their own lives, and to see you fight for truth. It showed me that I didn't have to live a lie anymore. I'm finally living my own life, Suki. Thank you for showing me what real bravery looks like." Suki smiled, a genuine, unburdened smile. The fire she had endured had forged her, and in doing so had sparked a different kind of freedom for someone else. Kody's confession had ripped apart their world, but from the wreckage, something authentic and beautiful had begun to grow. The echoes of deception had faded, replaced by the clear, resonant sound of truth, and lives finally